And we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a little late night edition of the WagerWise MMA podcast. I'm here, as always, with my boy, Ryan. Ryan, how you doing, my man?
I'm good, mate. Just finished a 12-hour shift. Thanks for accommodating for this time. I'm
No
currently
drama.
four coffees in. So usually you're catching me in like the beginning of my day, just easing into it. Now I'm just full of stupid energy and ready to talk some fights. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, I'm doing good. We got a bunch of bets that are about to kick off in the next half an hour or so. So I'm pretty keen to smash this one out and
Easy
get
work.
on to winning some more bets tonight. So I'm pretty keen to belt this one out. I've got some pretty succinct write-ups on some of them. So I'm keen to get into it if you are.
Yeah, mate. Let's do it.
Also, before we do, last week, I don't know, how did you go quickly?
Last week I was down 3 units. Yeah, it wasn't a red hot week by any means.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won 4 bets out of like 12. Got Carlos Ulberg by knockout, Josh Hokett, Cub Swanson, and lost the rest. Ribovic, Lupi and Tatiana Suarez not going to decision.
Oh, yeah.
Gastelum Luque, my don't fucking die play of the week. It was going well until I didn't think Gastelum would be the one to ruin it.
Yeah.
Randy Brown,
Your worst play, my best play.
Randy Brown, one of the worst to ever do it. Never betting on him again. And Mirzakhanov by knockout. I didn't spend too much on Mirzakhanov as I think he is a bit of a fraud, but that would have been a nice payout if he got that knockout, which it seemed likely in that second round.
Yeah, I thought it was a bizarre, there was some bizarre outcomes on that card that I just didn't see coming at all, to be honest. But in terms of entertainment wise, I thought it was a really good card to watch. Another good one, which is nice. I had a nice Vicente Luque sub win, which kind of outweighed everything, everything else on the card. So I had a little nibble at Jiří, not a massive nibble, but a little one. So see that one go down like that, not ideal.
You thought it was gonna win, didn't you? When you saw the leg.
I mean, everyone did, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it felt like a matter of time.
Yeah.
I think in my breakdown, when I remember I was talking about it, I said Ulberg will literally need to pitch a shutout and to beat him. And to be honest, he did the complete opposite. He literally had the worst outcome, like his knee blown out within 2 minutes, and then still managed to win it. So maybe he's just the better fighter in between those two. Maybe that's the case.
Yeah, or maybe that was like a blessing in disguise, because maybe if he stuck to a steady pace, he would have been dragged out to that. I think the urgency made him, like he said in the thing, he knew he had to get it done in the round one, or else his coaches wouldn't let him go out for round two. So that could have been best case scenario.
Yeah, it's not a bad point. All right, let's kick it off. I believe we're kicking off with is it Jamie Siraj? Is that the bottom fight?
So Raj versus
John Yanis.
There we go.
Alrighty, we have Jamie Siraj minus 256, minus 260. John Yanis is plus 220, somewhere around there. I'll kick this one off. I am surprised that they've signed either of these two guys, to be honest. I get it. There's a few weird signings because of this Canadian card. They're trying to appeal to the locals, but I don't know, man. These two are pretty low level. I think Siraj is fine overall. I just think he's kind of green, in my opinion. He's got a solid enough offensive wrestling grappling game, but I think he can stuff his entries at times. You can beat him to positions. It's not like he's a killer there. I think he's very hittable on the feet. He's got basic output, but not super threatening on the feet. He overswings a lot. And when he's tired, he slows down heaps. He's extremely hittable, and he's got little to no reactions. So I don't love that from Siraj. I think Yanis is effectively just a pocket boxer. He thrives in that, dirty back and forth fight. And in my opinion, he's been susceptible to be out grappled, particularly when someone takes his back, gets back control on him. They normally will get the rear naked choke. I think Siraj is a big chance to submit him here. I think it's probably the most likely outcome in the fight. But to be honest, I think there's a world in which Yanis makes this a gross, ugly back and forth fight. And I think it can be fairly close at times. If he can survive a couple of wrestling entries at the start. I think he opens right up. And I think he could honestly finish Siraj as the fight goes on and he slows down. I think under 2.5 at -110 feels pretty good. I think there's two other ways you can play this. I think Siraj sub, but +200 is a pretty good number.
Yeah.
And I think if you don't play, like I think that's effectively his money line. If you don't play that, then I think Giannis money line makes more sense. So that's how I would play this fight personally.
Yeah, I played one unit on Siraj by sub at +200. Important to note, these guys were a late addition to the card, so I don't know how well they've been, like how long they've been training, or if they knew they were preparing to fight in this card. But as far as I know, they both found out they were each other's opponents about a week and a half ago. And what that tells me is that they're just going to, for a short camp, focused on like an opponent for like this amount of time, they're just going to go to their to what they're best at. They're not going to try anything new. So Raj is going to go to his grappling. He knows he's going to have to grapple this guy, and Giannis is going to want to box with this guy and avoid being on the ground. Both of these guys aren't that good. Like if they were striking, you got to favor Giannis to snap Siraj's head back with his straight left very often, and he could very well take him out. But Giannis is a very sloppy guy. He overcommits, overswings, often slugging away and off balance. And in my opinion, like in this low-level fight, Siraj's grappling upside here it's the most significant thing that separates them. So I think if Siraj gets the takedown and takes the back, I think he can get the choke. So at +200 for his main path to victory, I like that.
In full agreement, my friend. Nothing else to add for me there.
Let's move this along.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, up to the next fight. We got John Castaneda, Sexy Mexi, taking on Mark Vologden. Prices. This one's been a little bit of a mover.
It's been moving up and down.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of action on both sides. It makes sense as they've got a tiptoeing back and forth, seesawing sort of line where Vologden opened dog, went to favourite, went back to dog, went to favourite. Yeah. So I think people have a pretty back and forth opinion on this one, which makes a bit of sense. Lines as of right now, Castaneda's -125, Vologden +105, the comeback. You can kick us off here, bro.
Yeah, so Mark Vologden, you'd know this guy from one of the best Contender Series fights you'll ever watch. He's a technical kickboxer with some grappling in his back pocket. Primarily a southpaw, though switches stances here and there. Will take turns either circling the cage, throwing high kicks and looking to counter, and then will pressure forward, throwing a variety of strikes to different targets and overwhelming his opponents. He's very fast and explosive, especially in his combinations, like punching in close. He really sits down on his punches, which I'll elaborate on later. Dynamic with his kicks, but man, like the level of competition is very poor. Like prior to the Contender Series fight, the records of his opponents were 7-4, 8-6, 6-5, and 3-7. So his first real opponent was Adrian Martinetti, who I don't believe is that good, but he's an absolute warrior. Castaneda, he's 4-4 in his UFC run. He's a dynamic switch stance fighter, stays bouncy on the feet, and implements a lot of movement around the cage. Launches fast kicks high and low and pretty clean with his combination punching in the pocket. He has decent chain wrestling, like well-timed double leg entries, and can grind on opponents, but he is very hittable. He drops his hands, keeps his head high as he moves back, and he's very vulnerable to body shots. In his fight against Daniel Santos, he was doing very well against Daniel Santos, and the momentum of the fight changed by when Santos started attacking the body more, and Castaneda was clearly very hurt. It ended up sapping at his gas tank, and this led to the round 2 finish. And this fight, as you can tell by the lines, it's super close. I would not be surprised if either guy won. Castaneda's experience is incomparable to Vologden's. Castaneda has wins over Kyung Hong Kang, Muin Gafarov, Miles Johns. He went to a super close split decision with Chris Gutierrez in his last fight, and he's been in there with Daniel Marcos, Daniel Santos, and Nathaniel Wood. And Vologden is a guy the UFC is going to want to build up because of his Contender Series performance, where he did lose, but he gave a great account of himself. He's a super fun and technical guy. He's tough and gritty, and he could make a name for himself in the UFC, but he hasn't fought good competition, and he won fights that make me go. He hasn't won any fights that make me go, yep, he's the next best thing. And his cardio didn't look great. His takedown defense looked pretty bad as the fight went on. But take away experience and context, their styles do match up closely, in my opinion. Like, both are well versed in distance striking. They throw fast shots in close and can mix it up with their grappling. Vologden gives up some height and reach, but he's the more explosive fighter with a lower center of gravity, and he seems to have more pop in his shots. Castaneda, he does seem a bit more flowy and quicker with his strikes and his footwork, while Vologden sits down on his punches. And I feel Castaneda will probably land with more volume, while Vologden will probably land with more authority. So I worry that if I was on the Castaneda side, I worry that Vologden's power upside and his focus on attacking the body will sway the fight his way. Castaneda seems soft to the body, in my opinion, and I do think he can crumble. I also don't think Castaneda can create as many high impact moments. He's like mostly a point fighter and a grinder against the cage. So I see this being a 29-28 either side with multiple momentum switches. I think either at plus money is a good bet. I did get in at Vologden at plus 100. That's mostly a numbers play. Like I think either at plus money is good.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with that whole breakdown. Like, I came in here when Vologden was favourite. That's when I was taping this fight, and I kind of instantly was like, I think this has to be a Castaneda play. I think everyone can admit that I think Castaneda at his best easily wins this fight. Like, he's a much better overall mixed martial artist. He's clearly fought the better level of competition, but I kind of think he's getting hit and hurt too often at this point, and that kind of worries me against a guy who can lull you, to sleep at times, like Vologden, and really hurt you. Like, I don't think he's a super power puncher or anything like that, but he does seem to catch a lot of people off guard with his power. Like, they don't necessarily look like they have a lot of, to the eye test, it doesn't look like a super powerful shot, but you can kind of see his opponents, they sort of take note of it when they hit him, when he hits them, especially when he mixes it up to the body. He's really effective to the body, and I think that's a big path to victory here. I think when Castaneda decides to go first, he's good, but he kind of seems content to go backwards too much, and I think he's much more hittable when he does do that. And I tend to think that Vologden will allow Castaneda to come forward and then look for the counter as he enters. On Vologden, I'm not super high on this guy at all. Like, he's got an extremely stocky build, and he kind of fights like it's super short, obviously. He's got no footwork, which doesn't help him either. He pretty much just throws 1-2 punch combos with little speed, but built for power and small explosions. And I think, like, because of his size, he does really have to rely on countering opponents after they enter range. Typically, he does do it well, but I kind of think it's a long-term losing strategy, in my opinion. And it makes sense because when he slows down cardio-wise, you can really see how hittable he becomes when he doesn't have like any footwork, or he does get caught going backwards a lot more. I didn't see him check one kick on Contender Series, which is a bit of a worry. I think he can be targeted there and just sort of picked apart slowly. I think his kicking game is actually kind of decent. Like, he does have kicks to all levels, and he will throw that spinning back kick and stuff a little bit too often for my liking. But I think his level of competition is extremely questionable. Clearly, his durability looks good, but I kind of question Martinetti's raw power. Like, he's not like a super big power puncher or finisher historically. So I don't think, like, I think if someone as many times as yeah.
Whoa. I think my brother has.
You got me?
Yeah, I got you now, man.
You got me? Sorry. Yeah, I was saying, like, I think if someone who's a genuine boxer, like, hits Vologden with power, I think he's going to go down. Like, I don't think Martinetti's this big power puncher. He's more of a submission guy, to be honest. And he couldn't get him out of there. So I think he's got insane grit, and he really does have no quit in him, but I think he can be dead shotted, to be honest. He has the build to, like, that you'd think would be good stuffing takedown defense, but I kind of think his takedown defense is weak, to be honest. Like, he can be held, he can be controlled on the mat. So I don't think he's got a super high ceiling in the sport, but he'll probably have some fun fights. I'm kind of conflicted on pure moneyline play because I feel like Castaneda's a better fighter overall and more proven, but I kind of think he doesn't get hit well. And I think Vologden's sort of going to make this a back and forth, dirty, scrappy style of fight, which I think will actually benefit Vologden more. So I don't know. I see a lot of outcomes in this fight. I think Castaneda could crack him on the feet and has a path to victory by sub also. But I kind of think Mark is live to TKO him as well. So I don't know. I think this could go the distance. I think he could end inside. I don't know. I can see a lot of outcomes. Seems volatile. I'm not really interested. Like you said, I think if you got underdog money on either side, it's probably a good play. So yeah, bit of a pass. I kind of think I will get involved on a violence play under 2.5
Yeah.
plus 135. I see this could go to decision for both sides for sure. I think like if they get tired, it could happen. But I tend to think both guys have a fair amount of path to victory through violence as well. So I like big plus money on that. Big enough plus money.
Yeah, and I think like I truly think Castaneda can really get hurt to the body. Like I can see some like body shots absolutely sapping out of him being on the back foot, and this Vologden guy to just come forward at him like a little troll and finish him.
I 100% agree with that.
All right, on to
the ladies.
All right.
We've got women's flyweight. We've got JJ Aldrich taking on Jamie Lynn Horth. Prices, we got Jamie Lynn Horth minus 160, JJ Aldrich plus 140. I don't have a great read on this fight. Like I'll go very quickly. Like I think Jamie Lynn Horth is probably the side off pure physicality. Minus 160 doesn't feel terrible. It's not an awful line to get to, but I don't know. The Canadian in Canada, JJ Aldrich is fine and can probably compete well enough, but I think if Horth wants to put an end way on her, I think she could do that and probably will look to do that. So I think Horth will win this one, but I'm not super interested in it, to be honest.
Yeah, like what's there to say? Like I have zero interest in this fight. Aldrich is the younger fighter, but feels like Horth is the more in her prime girl, even at age 36. I think they can both compete in close margins if they were to strike. Both are kind of slow and ploddy. Both are tough, but Aldrich has been finished in the past, while Jamie Lynn Horth has only lost by decision, and she definitely has the power upside. So like that with Horth's grappling upside as well, I think she has to be the side here, whether I want to get involved, which I don't. Well, there's the answer. I don't. I think Jamie Lynn Horth should win this fight, probably 29, 28, 30, 27.
Yep. Here.
All right, on to the next. And this is a fight I'm very interested in hearing your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, we got Mitch Raposo up a flyweight taking on Alan Nascimento. Prices we got minus 185 on. What's that?
Big Nas.
Big Nas, yeah. Big Nas is back. Mitch Raposo at plus 160. So I kind of think the prices were closer than I was expecting when I first came into it. I think you'll have a better, like a stronger read than me. I know you've got a bet on this fight already. I reckon you lead it off.
Yeah, right. So yeah, Nas, he's on a 2-fight win streak, beat Durden by sub, but like if you kind of remember how he looked like up until he won that fight, he didn't look great against Durden. Mitch Raposo, he's 1-2 in the UFC, coming off a unanimous decision win against Azat Maxim. It's a clash of styles here. We've got typical Chude box striking on one end, like everything you expect from a Chude box guy in Nascimento. Moves around, throws teeps up the middle, attempts flying knees, land hard body kicks, followed by quick combos. Not much good. The defense is not really there, but he is very dangerous on the ground. Very good at making his way to the back and attacking the rear naked choke. Though his wrestling is not that great, but his jiu-jitsu is amazing. Crafty off his back as well, like he attacks arm bars, heel hooks, or scrambles his way to top controller, taking the back. And Mitch Raposo, he's just like a good fundamental fighter. Like, is he a good competitor? Not quite, but like he's just good at like being there and staying competitive, I guess, which I guess makes him a good competitor, I guess. He's got good fundamental boxing, like often switches stances, skirts around the outside, and times his spots well with clean combos. His style to me at times is reminiscent of Nathaniel Wood. He's great at firing shots once opponents lunge in and drawing them into his power hand. And I think his wrestling is pretty good too. Like for a guy from New England Cartel or with affiliations to them, I think his wrestling is very solid. That's his background, right? He's quick and explosive with his takedowns and strong from the top. He's very much improving, but I don't think he has a high ceiling. I really liked Raposo's performance against Maxim to get his first win in the UFC. I'm not sure if it translates to success in the long term, but against Nas, like I think he's a very live underdog. Like Maxim was a tricky guy who had enough holes in his game that someone as fundamentally sound and simple in his approach as Raposo could exploit. Maxim has too many big movements, puts himself in the firing line without responsible defense, and overall has pretty shit IQ. Nas is a guy who also has big movements, puts himself in the firing line with irresponsible defense, but he is a much better competitor than as a Maxim, and he's going to ask a lot of questions about Raposo's game in this fight. If it's wild Chude box style kickboxing versus a simple boxing and counter striking approach, I'll probably lean the simple boxing approach, but it then becomes quality versus quantity. Raposo lands an average of 1.73 strikes landed per minute, while Nascimento nearly doubles it and is much more accurate with 55% accuracy compared to Raposo's 36%. But Nascimento is putting himself in harm's way on the feet as well, and his just striking is just very, very wild. And we saw against Durden, well, the corpse of Durden, that he is sort of uncomfortable on the feet too. Raposo has really good wrestling, and I think he can get his takedowns, but Nascimento will allow this, which opens possibilities for scrambles and sub attempts. Like, Nas is dangerous with his subs from all positions. It comes down to how well Raposo can remain safe while winning minutes on top. And I actually think he can stay safe. I know he got choked out by Jake Hadley years ago, but I think I've seen enough development in his game, and I know that he is coming into this fight knowing that getting on the ground with Nascimento is danger. And I tend to think if Nascimento was to just strike with him, then Raposo would stay safe. He did stay pretty safe against Lima and Maxim, who do have a good array of weapons to threaten him with. And on the ground, I think Raposo will be well versed enough to just stay on top and not allow a stupid sub from bottom to occur. So I did put 2 units on fight goes the distance at -140. I think that's my way of cheering for Raposo without needing him to win. But on top of that, I do think Raposo is a live dog. It just comes to the aggression. Like, if it goes to decision, maybe Nascimento's aggression, although really shit technique, will win the judges over, or Raposo's sort of more focus on quality strikes landing and winning moments could sway the judges. So yeah, it's a close fight. I do lean Nascimento to get the win just off experience alone and aggression, but yeah, Raposo is a live dog here. Only play I got's fight goes the distance.
Yeah, I tend to agree with most of what you said. I think Raposo is good enough everywhere that he can probably compete with Nascimento pretty well. I think my main issue is that Nascimento is fucking huge for the division, and he is super jacked. So I think his physicality is going to be way stronger than Raposo's, and I worry that while Raposo will probably compete well enough, I think Nascimento will just be doing more and doing big and having bigger moments that I feel like it's it's the story of the Raposo fight generally. It's can he fight from behind and make it up? Most of the time it's no, but he gets pretty close and it's competitive. And he got Maxim in the last one, but Maxim's kind of a known gasser. Yeah, he's a good wrestler, probably a better wrestler, pure wrestler than Nascimento, but I think Nascimento is probably he definitely is a far more dangerous grappler. So I think if Raposo gives him a chance, he'll go. I think he'll go close, especially on the back. I think the physicality of Nascimento, if he gets to the back, I kind of worry about Raposo. He's pretty good technically, but I think the power might just be a little bit too much, and he might literally just get crushed. But I think he's kind of if he doesn't sub him, I think it's probably going to be a relatively close 29-28 style decision where Nascimento gets 1. Maybe Raposo's got a little bit more to give in 3, and 2 is pretty close. So I'm not running to get involved. I don't know. I could see an angle for all the fights. When I sort of saw this early in the week, I kind of looked at it, was I'm not rushing to get involved. It seems like a thin margin kind of fight.
Yeah, and I think it's a bit of a trap too. I think people can be like, "Fuck, Raposo sucks." Nascimento, he's fucking good. He trains with Charles, so yeah, that could be like a trap line. Yep. So I am gonna lean Nascimento, but yeah, my play is fight goes the distance.
I like it.
All right, on to my girl Melissa Croden.
Yeah, boy, women's bantamweight.
Zelezniakova.
Yeah, boy. Prices we have Melissa Croden's favorite -153. The comeback Daria Zeleznikova +133. Do you want me to go, or you want to kick this one off?
You start this one, my brother.
I don't know how to feel about this fight. I think Zalesniakova has a chance to look pretty good early, but I think if she doesn't get her out of there in the first 6-7 minutes, I think Croden's going to break it down. To be honest, I think she's the more physical girl. I think what you worry about with Croden is that you can lose minutes of her marching forward and putting pressure on these girls by her being on her back. But Zalesniakova is not a grappler, so I don't expect her to really come out here and grapple Croden. And if she doesn't, it's like I said, I think she's got a big upside maybe early where she's the better pure striker and can have some success. Because Croden is pretty hittable, but she's she's kind of a gritty style fighter for a girl where she'll push through damage, land the leg kick, keep coming forward, and just wear on them, get in the clinch, wear on girls and stuff like that. And I think she has an angle to grapple late, get some ground and pound and things like that later. So, yeah, I think Zalesniakova will probably look like a good bet for the first 5-6 minutes, but I don't know. I like the look of Croden round 2, round 3. I think Zalesniakova slows down and Croden picks up. So I think Croden could break her late, to be honest.
Yeah, I like it. I was tempted on the Daria Zalesnikova side pre-tape, just off my memory from her last performance against Melissa Mullins. She did seem to impress me there as a plus 200 underdog. But on rewatch, though, I am impressed by her scrappiness. Her striking is just too sloppy, man. She had her way catching Mullins and definitely hurt her, but her punching technique is just not that good. Her combos are impressive, when they land, and she'll just enter range with no setup or feints and just walk straight into shots as well. But she was able to get away with that against Melissa Mullins. I feel like a technical Muay Thai striker like Croden would exploit these openings with her straight shots down the middle, the clinch, the knees. Daria also slows down as the fights go on. By no means does she gas, but she becomes more lazy with her attacks and her defense, and she's kind of just grinding through. While on the other side, Croden, she builds into fights pretty well. 4 of her finishes are in the 3rd round. And there's also no grappling threat from Daria here, which is all the more reason to be confident on the Croden side. If anything, Croden would be the one who initiates grappling. She's a very physical and big girl as well. So I think Croden should be able to have her way from distance with her teeps, straight punches, and control of range. Daria will have early success while she's fresh, rushing at her. But as the fight gets extended, Croden will build on her volume and push hard along the stretch. And I think she'll be able to get a late finish. So I've parlayed Croden at, I think, minus 150. And I'm going to put a bet on her to win by round 3. Stoppage.
Yep. We are on the exact same page there. I'd love to hear that. Looks like you can get Croden round 2 about plus 900. Croden round 3 is plus 11, plus 12, somewhere around there. So some good numbers there. I'll be definitely on some of those come fight night.
Oh, that's pretty good. I might play a Croden round 3 decision, and then Croden round 2 and Croden round 3.
Yep.
Divide up your units respectfully in that case. Now let's go. So heavyweight is back.
Yeah.
The last time we saw heavyweights in the cage, we got one of the best sloppy fights you'll ever see, and I think that continues here with Tanner Boser, one of the greatest of all time.
Are we really saying that was one of the greatest fights of all time? It was good,
everyone's saying
2 minutes. It was great for 2 minutes. Fuck, it was terrible after that.
Yeah, no, I was joking there, but greatest fight.
I know, but I've seen so many people say it as well. I'm like, fuck, are people really not saying good fights or something? Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was back and forth, but fuck, it was arguably a terrible fight as well.
Yeah. Greatest bar fight of all time.
Yeah, just behind Ebo, fucking Baranewski, and that Turkish cunt. What's his name? Fucking.
Oh yeah.
Ebo Aslan. Ebo versus Ewo.
Yep, that one. All right. Tanner Boser versus Gokhan Tsarukyan.
Yeah,
we got confused with Gokhan Saki.
I was very confused with that, to be honest. I thought it was the same person to begin with, but I'm glad I separated that early enough. Sarikham's minus 150, Boser's plus 130. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, I think I see a lot of people on the Boser side, which I just don't see. This guy's 5-5 in the UFC. He's returning to the promotion after getting cut. He had one win in the regionals, and he's returning to heavyweight after a stint at light heavyweight, where he went 1-1. He's a bouncy striker, pretty fast and mobile for a heavyweight, which is why he should be a light heavyweight. He's got a heavy leg kicking game. He's quick with his hands and straight shots, stays busy, has a high output, but he is counterable and puts himself in danger to be hit too often. And he just struggles defending takedowns and can't get up off his back. And here we have Gokhan Tsarukyan, who is a very, very strong wrestler. Like, he will just sell out for the takedown. He's currently riding a 3-fight win streak. He's got 8 knockouts, 7 in the first round. And his game is to just close the distance, grab a hold of you, get on top, and pound your head through the mat. And he can get fights done really early, like with his takedowns and ground and pound. Like, I watched him a few fights ago finish a fight in 15 seconds. Like, a clean takedown, 3 hits, 3 ground and pound punches, and it was done. His striking technique ain't great, but he clearly carries some power and will put you out if he lands. But the striking is really a means to an end. The only losses he has on his record are against like legit grapplers, like Ole Popov or something. I just think Tsarukyan takes Boza down maybe at some point in the first round. Maybe Boza defends it for a little bit, but eventually succumb to it. And once he's on the ground, he's like a fish off his back. And I think it'll be a matter of time before he forces the referee to step in to stop the fight. Boza has just struggled with defending takedowns his whole career and getting up. And I don't believe anything changes here after like 3 years away from the sport and his only fight being in the regionals. So I did play Gokhan Tsarukyan by KO at plus 200 just for 1 unit.
Yeah, I came to the division as well, and I saw a lot of love on to start the week, and I'm kind of interested seeing him as an underdog, obviously, and not knowing who this Gokhan guy was. But I don't know, this still feels like a bizarre fight to me. I think that Gokhan is not that good overall, to be honest. Like, he's kind of fought nobody good recently, but he does have like a couple of good names like back in Bellator, like you said, Oleg Popov and Maori. He's 2 losses. Those guys are like decent Bellator guys. But then you go and you look at Charlie Milner, for example. That's the guy he beat in 15 seconds. And you look at that and you're like, bro, this guy's the biggest fraud of all time. Like, look at who he's fighting. But I don't know. It's kind of like a mix of competition, like decent or just completely shit. There's no like real in between. But he can grapple and wrestle, so automatically he's got that over Boza. Boza's a decent enough striker. He should do well on the feet in this. I think if Gokhan wrestles, he should mix the win. Like, I don't know. I think Boza will have to be TKO or bust in this one to be. Gokhan moneyline feels okay. I'm kind of in 2 minds that I don't want to bet on him at this price because I want to see more from him before I put money on him. But I'm also like, if he comes out and he looks good, we won't really get this price like of him for a while again. So I'm kind of in 2 minds. I want to play his money line, and I think it probably will look like value because I think you just bet Boza down and just fuck him, to be honest.
Yeah, like this fight could literally like look like free money if you're in the Gokhan Tsarukyan side. On hindsight, it could be like, whoa, I can't believe we got him at that price. I believe Boza works another job, right?
I don't know.
He works another job on top of this. And he's brought in because he's the Canadian guy.
Yeah, it's a weird re-signing. I think on the graphic you can see it says he's weighed 205. I'm assuming that's because of his light heavyweight fight, but just before he got dropped or whatever. So I think he'll be heavier than
against
that.
Kutilaba.
Yeah, I still think he's going to be at a weight disadvantage against Tsarukyan. So he'll probably weigh like 220, I reckon. So if this guy weighs in at 250, he's going to have 30-pound advantage. If he gets him on his back, he's fucked, I reckon.
Oh, 100%. All right. Tsarukyan will be my pick. You're going with Tsarukyan as well?
But I reckon I probably will come fight type.
Lovely. All right, on to our next fight, which is looks like the headliner of the prelims. Wow. Ooh. So we got Jiří Procházka versus Matt LeBlanc.
That's not the guy that died, is it?
Huh? No, not the one that died.
Which was what was his name again?
Matthew Perry.
That's the one, Matthew Perry.
But if you watch Julian LeBlanc fight, he looks like he could be on ketamine as well.
Yeah, 100%. Prices, we have Robert Valen minus 140, I'm back on the blank, 125. I'll kick us off here. I'm going to be honest. I think LeBlanc is awful. I have no idea why he's been signed. Regardless of this event being in Canada, this guy has no business being in the UFC. The guy's a mediocre karate-based nerd with no upside in the UFC at all here. Like, Valentin sucks too, don't get me wrong, but to be honest, he would have looked like prime Khabib in there against the guy that LeBlanc fought last time. There was literally no resistance at all from that guy from about 2 minutes in, and it still took LeBlanc 2 full rounds to force a mercy stoppage. He literally took his back. I think it was a 1 second on the tap. So it took him 2 full rounds to finish that bum who wanted to be out of there in 10 seconds. So I think LeBlanc is fucking terrible. I think Valentin should take this guy down and maul him. On the feet, it's probably competitive because Valentin's just slow and dumb and plotting and hittable. But I think if it goes to ground, he's got huge upside. I think if you got Valentin plus money, it was an easy click. I'm still considering it at minus 145. I honestly think that's how bad LeBlanc looks, to be honest.
Minus 145. Yeah, I think I'd still play there. I played Robert Valentin at minus 120. I really wish I got in on him like at plus money early because when I was watching Julian LeBlanc, I was like, all right, why is this guy the minus 120 or something favorite? And I watched him like, no, there's like no way he's gonna end up being the favorite come fight night. I got to go with Robert Valentin here as disgusting as it feels playing him at any sort of money. Valentin is not good, but LeBlanc is just so much worse. LeBlanc's a very bland fighter, and the level of competition he's beating and losing to is so low. I think he gets away with this style at this level because no one can really make him pay. Valentin here, he's fighting for his job, and he's been in there with some hard competition for his style, like Ryan Loder and Finney were able to wrestle fuck him. Gauthier, well, Atiba Gauthier is Atiba Gauthier. Valentin now has a low-level NPC in front of him that's never fought under bright lights, and though Valentin is not fundamentally good, his unorthodox style is going to be hard to deal with for a fighter as simple and slow-twitched as LeBlanc. Just 3 years ago, LeBlanc went life and death with 6-5 Salah Eddin Dekisi in one of the most low-level fights you'll ever see in your life, where he was put in several compromising positions on the ground, and he doesn't even seem like he's improved from that point. So, pre-UFC Rob Valentin was running through fighters who offered way more danger than LeBlanc in much, much more competitive promotions. LeBlanc has mainly stayed fighting in Canadian promotions too, which is not doing him any favors. So I think Valentin can win this on the feet with his unpredictable striking. And if LeBlanc goes for a takedown, Valentin can work his way to attack a choke. So I played Rob Valentin here, minus 120. I think he wins inside the distance. And I believe Frank has chosen Rob Valentin as well. Let's go with that. All right, guys. On to the main card. And we have a juiced favorite in Marcio Barbosa against a massive underdog who I don't personally think is live to win this fight, but he does have UFC experience. So, Denis Buzukja, he is plus 370, while Marcio Barbosa, he is, let me do my maths, around a minus 700, I'm going to say. Yeah, minus 600, minus 700 mark. Look, Denis Buzukja, he is 2-3 in the UFC, coming off a split decision loss to Francis Marshall, where he did look good in that last round. He was pouring it on. He's a switch stance boxer, comes forward, working behind his jab, throws teeps and leg kicks as he closes the distance. He can be quick and sharp with his boxing, particularly with his straight shots, but Buzukja absorbs as many shots as he lands because he just stands in front of opponents, like going blow for blow, which is not good. Like, he already doesn't have like the best chin as well. Overall, his grappling, particularly takedown defense, is like mid to low level, though he has shown improvement, as we saw in that last round against Francis Marshall. Barbosa here is on a 4-fight win streak, contender series winner. All 16 finishes are in round 1. And this guy's a highly explosive striker, very Jose Aldo-like in his style. Like, He stands out of an orthodox stance but can switch, and he overwhelms his opponents with in-tight boxing combos to the head and body, looks to land that sleeper left or right hook at the end of combos. He's very quick on his feet, but potentially he's a round 1 or bust fighter. Like in fights that have reached round 2, he is 1-2. And that one win was a split decision win, and those 2 losses, he was knocked out. So I think Barbosa will be found out eventually. Not sure when, but I don't think Bazooka is the guy. I think Barbosa is going to sell out for the round 1 finish, and Bazooka just puts himself in harm's way too much for what his chin can handle, and he doesn't quite have the one-shot knockout power to even the playing field here. So it might be a square look at this fight, but I think Barbosa gets it done in round 1 by knockout. Welcome back.
I don't know what you said about the lead up to this fight, but I love this fight. Like, I think it's going to be fun as fuck. I'm really excited to see Barbosa. I'm super excited. Like, when I did tape on Barbosa again, I really enjoyed it. I think this guy's pretty impressive, man. Like, he's a very intelligent striker. He's got like a very pleasing style to the eye. I think he's got really good distance management. He's always safe within his defensive shell when he tracks you down. He uses his jabby straight shots to set you up, to eat his big left hook in the pocket. He's got really good eyes in the pocket. He's happy to slip shots and counter. He's got super dangerous hooks. He's clearly his best shot. Same as Alex Pereira. Left hook to the head is the money shot. The kicking game is second to his boxing, but he does have some good inside-outside leg kicks, and he does look for the rear leg high kick pretty effectively too. You can't really forget about that shot when his boxing is lighting you up, because it will catch you off guard. He lost to Gabriel Santos on the regional scene, but that is obviously aging pretty well. And plus, if you watch that fight, he literally finished him in round 1 with like a mad. Was literally on him for about 100 follow-up shots.
Frank might have dropped out of the feed. You're back? Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep dropping out, but I'm good. I should be good. But yeah, he effectively finished fucking Gabriel Santos in that fight. Like, it probably should have been stopped, but he did gas out. I guess that's the main question like people have on him. It has to be the cardio, just because he's got, if he finishes you, it's in round 1, and he's never really been to decision. So yeah, I think people are banking on this guy slowing down, but I'm not necessarily sure that he will, to be honest. Like, I think that if you watch that Gabriel Santos, and that's the only like evidence you give to the outcome of him gassing out, I think it's more that he threw literally 100 shots to follow up, not got a bad game. I'm curious to see if it gets extended. In his fight versus Prado was doing well, keeping him on the outside with straight shots plus the advantage. To be honest, as soon as he felt Barbosa's power against the cage, he was on. Barbosa, as soon as he gets you up against the fence, he is so dangerous in that position. On Bazooka, I always get this guy and Sadikov mixed up, to be honest. Like, I think they're like the same guy in my head a little bit. So when I was coming in, I kind of thought it was against Sadikov. But then I back up, I always get him mixed up with. I think Bazooka's fine. Like, he's just an average kickboxer who's okay everywhere, but not great anywhere. He's too backing up. I've watched him in nearly every fight get backed up against the cage and touch with hooks and get hurt. And that's obviously bubbly. Kicking game could have some success here, and he is more proven late, especially if he can, if he gets hurt, Barbosa unloads and then gasses out. We've seen it before. Bazooka could maybe, mount a comeback, but to be honest, I think this is a round 1 KO. I think it's got KO written all over it. I think Barbosa's going to KO him early. He's got too much power. Bazooka's going to let him fight to his optimal strategy here, in my opinion. I think you look for under 2.5, under 1.5, Barbosa TKO. I'm all interested. I'm all
love it.
Barbosa guy. I think massive upside early. I think he finishes him.
Completely agree. That might make it into our best bets of the week.
Love to hear that.
Maybe the round 1 finish.
Yeah. I'm
all right. On to the next fight. The Twitter fight of the week. Thiago Moises versus G Money.
G Money.
I love my G Money.
Prices.
I don't really like Thiago Moises.
Yeah, I feel ya. Gage Young's minus 135. The comeback on Thiago Moises plus 115. This fight, honest, I can't really get a great read on it if I'm really being honest with everyone. I think the experience edge clearly to Moses, durability and the want to win, I think, is to Gage. I could see a Moses sub if Young tries to wrestle, which he kind of does mix it in from time to time. I think the striking probably seems close enough. I think Gage harder, but Moses has like good tools like the leg, which I think he'll compete with well enough. This fight just kind of seems close. If I'm on the Gage side, I'd want like to hope that he finishes him, but I'm not super confident that Gage will finish Moises. I think he could. I definitely think he could. Like Moises took a pretty bad stop at. I think he's took some damage over the years. I think starts to add up, and that last one was pretty nasty. So I wouldn't be surprised if he came back with a worse chin, obviously, that he had. But I don't know. I could see it going to a close 29-20 decision. I also could sub him. So I don't have a very strong read on this fight at all. I'm kind of like, I feel like I should be on Moises' money line, but it also feels like kind of a trap. So I really don't know about this fight. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, look, if we were guaranteed to have the version of Moises that runs through guys every time, then I could see him winning this fight, like, comfortably. But he is an incredibly streaky fighter. Like, sometimes he shows up hot, sometimes shows up cold. And if he shows up to this fight as anything but on his game, I think he can get knocked out or he gets really hurt. Gage Young is a well-rounded guy with some fight-ending power and sharp boxing that I can see lead to him catching Moises, especially with a pullback right over the top of Moises' like lazy jab that can put him to sleep or just really hurt him. I also think G Money is also developing and improving at a high rate, especially after the short notice Evan Elder fight. That's where we saw him fight very tentatively, but it seemed like he was very well versed in his game. I think he comes in here with confidence following his unanimous decision win over Machado, and the fact that Moises got flatlined by Jared Gordon in his last fight. The path for Moises here is to not spend any extended time in the pocket, to just be quick with his hands, get out of range, land his heavy leg kicks that can compromise Young's legs, Young is very heavy on his front leg, and then eventually shoot a takedown or force Young to scramble and be opportunistic and maybe take the back. Like, Young has been subbed in the past, but he's very solid in the wrestling department. Like, he competed well against Salkeld, and yeah, he got taken down 9 times, but it took about 22 attempts to he defended 22. He taken down 9 times out of 22 attempts, and it was only 5 minutes of control time that was accrued there, and he never really accepted being on the bottom. Always kept on working. Out of the two, I think Gage Young also competes a lot better and has more dog in him. Even if he goes through adversity, while if Moises was to, he could be like going really well, but then he loses momentum, get hurt, and having to fight through adversity, I think he has the potential to crumble. He's a good hammer, but in my opinion, not a good nail. And G Money definitely has some dog in him. So I'm on the Gage Young side here.
Yeah, I understand that side. I don't know. It's just I think it's a weird fight. It's got weird fight written on it all over it to me.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, next up, what do we got?
We got Jazz versus Karine Silva.
Love that. Women's flyweight, baby. Prices, we got Jazz Vicious minus 300. Karine Silva plus 250. How are you feeling about this one?
I really don't like Karine Silva. I've faded her almost every step of the way. I think she probably wins the first round with her distance striking, but come round 2, I think Jasmine begins to take over with her superior physicality and work rate. Like, Silva can be put on the back foot, and I see her accepting bottom position, trying to play jiu-jitsu off her back. I'll never forget her cardio against, like, how bad she looked against, what's her name? Vivian Araujo in round 3, where she was giving some of the worst optics you'll ever see from a fighter. And like, she was a huge favorite in that fight. So, I think she's going to spend a bit of her time on her back trying to get arm bars or triangles, but I see Jazavicius like getting out of them, staying on top. And round 3, like, Karine Silva is typically pretty spent and just allows takedowns to happen. So I actually think Jasmine can pull away with the fight here, can dominate her in this round, potentially get a finish. Like, I do favor Jasmine to get a decision, but she could get close to a finish in that round. I probably think maybe like a TKO, if anything. they'd be pretty sweaty by then. So I think Silva will be slipping past like submissions. So I did play Jasmine by decision at -140 for 1.5 units.
Yeah, I love that breakdown. I feel much the same. I think Jazz Vicious is going to smash her this weekend, to be honest. I think she's just too big, too physical. She's too good on top. I think she's just going to get this. Look, is she hittable on the feet? For sure. And Karine Silva she's all right in round one, but I think she's got 5 minutes. I really do. I think she's hurt her, punish her, and I think Jazz Vicious is going to break her round 2, round 3. And so in a division where physicality matters, Jazz Vicious is about as good as it gets, really. So I think she's good to parlay. I like her TKO line as well. I think it's probably, if it goes late and she looks like it's going to finish, it's probably round 2, round 3 TKO. On a TKO mark, she's some pretty good ground and pound, and I think if Karine Silva, I think she'll get.
Yeah, she does have some pretty good ground and pound. I'm looking at the lines now for that TKO or just round 3, and she's looking very good. And he's back.
Fuck me. On.
It's all right, my brother.
All right, let's keep pumping through this before it fucking kicks out again.
Yep. Manel Nalo versus Jai Herbert.
Oh, this is a hilarious fight, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Prices, we've got Nalo -170. The comeback on Jai Herbert's +145. Extremely funny. Extremely funny fight. I think Nalo used to go by Rat Garbage, I believe used to be his old nickname.
Garbage, yep.
Which is like the perfect nickname when you look at this guy, because it's exactly what he looks like. He looks like a rat that's just crawled out of a garbage can. I don't know what to make of this goofy motherfucker. Like he's one shot, or he throws sort of naked kicks exclusively. That's kind of his whole game. Like he clearly has some power. He hurts people with these shots, like these short, shovelly type of shots. They don't look super powerful. I don't think he's very good, and he doesn't have a lot of upside, but I kind of think he just might like damage against a tentative. On Nick, we've definitely seen some regression since the Topuria KO, which makes sense because that was literally one of the most brutal KOs in memory for me. He just like literally deaded him so bad. I feel like his long range tools are going to be a little less effective here because he's usually the much longer guy. He's still longer here, but he's not by much at all. I think this could look similar to the Padilla fight where it's competitive enough on the outside while Nalo's doing visually more damaging shots. He could like stall there. He has more sub upside, but I don't think it will really end there because Herbert does have defense. I think +145 is intriguing, to be honest, on Herbert, but I don't think it's big enough for me to get involved. Like it's close to where I want to get involved because I think Nalo is kind of trash, but Herbert's just shown such regression in the last couple of fights that I'm tentative to get involved. So it's a pass. I don't know what to make of this Nalo rat looking.
Yeah, I completely agree. Look, I think just watching the AFL.
Are we fucking winning?
Nope. Lost by 1 point. 15-16 in the quarter. Collingwood won. It is what it is. 15-16.
Oh my God. There you go.
Pain.
Anyway. How they always go.
Okay. This fight, these are two pretty technical guys. Like you said, Rat Garbage is pretty like one shot orientated. Will do like naked kicks and stuff. He does have a good counter striking game. While Jai Herbert, he's a technical long range striker. He's got crisp boxing. He's definitely a bit more skilled than his record suggests. Though there's a reason why his record's like that. He often fights to close margins, and he gets let down by defensive lapses. Gives up key takedowns, absorbs big shots, gets rocked, or pretty much gets finished, like in fights that he's competitive in. In my opinion, I think Jai is going to look good till he doesn't. He'll have success in spots, especially when he's in his rhythm, and Nalo's just kind of focusing on getting his reads and managing the range. But Manel Nalo, I reckon he can be a sniper here. And he has like a lot of weapons. Jai doesn't really separate well in fights, and again, he could be winning minutes and then just get caught, which he often does. And Nalo, he has 12 finishes in round one. I know Jai hasn't been finished too often, but he does very much get wobbled. And I see that happening for him as well. As for if I want to get involved in this fight, not really. I think there's better spots. So yeah, Nalo would be my pick, but there's not enough juice on Nalo. And as an underdog, like I don't really like how Jai fights really close margins.
Yep, I concur massively.
Yes, sir. Let's keep this moving.
Yeah. Co-main event.
Kyler Phillips versus Charles Jourdain.
Yeah. Price is Jourdain +1 for there. Carlo Phillips is +135. How do you feel about this one?
Yeah, so Carlo Phillips, he's 6-3 in the UFC on a 2-fight losing streak. He is definitely a bit better than I think what people are making him out to be. I think our memory of him is that he's just he's a gasser, and he's had performances in the past where he went the distance pretty well. But I think you put a bit of pressure on him and like kind of threaten him with big weapons, and I think he's likely to fold. But he's a technical, like all round fighter. He's sharp kickboxing, very precise and elusive, good hand speed and dynamic with his kicking game. His kicks are definitely not telegraphed; they're very fast, and he lands at a high clip. He defends at a high clip too. He averages 2.63 takedowns per fight, and I think he is going to shoot on Charles Jourdain here. Jourdain, he's up and down. He has an up and down career, but he's on a 2-fight win streak since moving to bantamweight. Both by finish. He's a creative striker, switches stances, and pretty flowy with his movement. Mixes it up well from range, kicks and punches, all fast and powerful in execution. But he does get lulled into firefights, and when he gets lulled into firefights, he just like throws defense out the window. What I like about also he's pretty low IQ at times. Like just gets caught up, and he can be outstruck, or out grappled by specialists, but. I think he's very opportunistic with his grappling, especially with his guillotine attempts, and I think Kyler Phillips has a good chance of winning round one. I think, just like he did with Oliveira, and just like he did in that fight beforehand. I can't quite remember. I think Rob Font, he might have won round one and then just let it go, but I see Charles Jourdain throwing out some like weapons that kind of gets Kyler Phillips uncomfortable. And when this guy's uncomfortable, he's going to find a moment for that takedown. And when he goes for that takedown, Charles Jourdain's going to go for that guillotine. I believe. I think he's going to have one or two solid attempts at a guillotine in this fight. Like if he pulls it off, then excellent. If he doesn't, then I could see Phillips probably garnering some top time. But at the number of Charles Jourdain to win by submission is pretty intriguing to me at +575. Charles Jourdain by sub. So I played that for a half unit. I do think that's a good chance that he's going to at least have like one or two good submission attempts on Kyler Phillips, who's just not going to be too comfortable standing with him in this fight. But as far as money lines go, I think there's value in taking Kyler, to be honest. And Charles Jourdain, he's a guy that seems to be putting it together, but like I think he still has a bit of that warrior in him, and not in a good way, where more of the way that he just loses. He just gets caught up being in a firefight and like ends up having low IQ moments. So yeah, I'm only playing this fight as Charles Jourdain at that +475, +575, I think. Yeah, +575.
Yeah, I think it's bigger. Yeah, I'm on the same thing. I think that's the best play in this fight by a country mile. I think the major difference between these two is the want and the intent to finish fights from Jourdain. Like, especially down here at bantamweight, where he does actually look like really physically large, and clearly his power and his speed have translated pretty well. I think if you go back and you watch that Davy Grant fight, I think if Kyler hurt Davy Grant like Jourdain did, what the fuck? What am I? Anyway, I think if Kyler hurt Davy Grant like Jourdain did, I almost think that Grant almost could have survived in that spot, but against Kyler Phillips, but against Jourdain, he just like you clearly could. He tried to pass his straight away, and that stuff was so. You watch that? Do you remember that when he had him in that guillotine and he let him go and it just came out, all the blood came out of his nose like after the choke was off. So this guy has a legit like squeeze in his submissions, and you could tell like he gets people and he gets them quick. So I agree. I think Kyler Phillips is probably going to shoot in a couple of times. He's actually, when you think of him, you kind of think of him as just this like flowy striker, but he actually is like kind of a wrestler as well. He pretty much shoots in like all these fights. He's almost had takedowns in almost every single one of them. So he is like a decent enough wrestler. So I think he will look to grapple, and I don't think it's the smartest idea, to be honest, but I think he will. But like as long as this is on the feet, I think it's close enough on the feet. It's just to me that Kyler's style is just so inefficient. Like it's very high energy expenditure, which is why he tends to slow down while fights go on. And I kind of think Jourdain will look doesn't get finished. I think it's a gross, greasy split decision. I think if it doesn't, Jourdain the guy that has more finishing upside, to be honest.
Completely agree. Love it. Jourdain may be in the distance, but I like Sub. I love Sub.
Sub is a great play in this fight. It's the best one for sure.
Yes, sir.
Main event time.
All right, main event. Gilbert Durinho Burns versus proper Mike Malott. Now, I don't know about you, but I consider myself a Mike Malott hater.
Oh, yeah.
I'm definitely a hater. I've faded him every step of the way.
Yep.
That's for sure.
Brother, you're talking to a man who's bet round 3 on the Magniverse. Round 3 in the Magniverse. Okay. Neil Magny, round 3, plus 2,500 or something. Fucking enormous number. One of the greatest cashes of all time. And unfortunately, I don't think this is the spot to get another one. And I hate the guy. But I don't think this is the spot. I'm not interested on the Burn side at all here. I think, look, I get why people are taking the shot, right? I completely get it. You got Mike Malott who consistently underperforms in his first 5-round fight. Blah blah blah. He hasn't looked good, etc. Slows down. I completely get the argument. Gilbert Burns is better than anyone Mike Malott's ever sniffed their jockstrap. I get it. But Gilbert Burns has been out of this game for 2 years at this point. He's not a legit fighter at this point. He's a part-time fighter, and that's okay. He's on the way out. That's not a dig. But I don't think his durability is gone, for one. He's shown that in the last several fights. Has he had better performances than Malott by a country mile? Like, Malott wouldn't fucking get close to Khamzat Chimaev, whereas Gilbert made him look beatable. So I think on their best day, Gilbert smashes him. I just don't think this is Gilbert's best day. I think he's 4 years past it. He shouldn't be fighting. I think Malott is probably going to be the side here. Like, I think he will do more. He'll look better early, and I don't know. I just don't have any interest in putting my money on a guy who I think is done and washed, to be honest.
Absolutely, mate. Like, the odds definitely opened very wide, and I'm sure MMA Twitter has reminded us all week that Gilbert is a live dog, which maybe. But while plus 250, plus 300 is a great price for what will most likely be a value loser, I think the ultimate play, my favorite play in this card, which I put 1 unit on, is Mike Malott round 4-5 a decision at plus 235. That I played that for 1 unit. Though Mike Malott does have finishes, I just don't think he gets it done early. And I'm looking at Malott to win in rounds 1, 2, and 3 at plus 100. I don't think that's an accurate price. Like, Gilbert may be a little washed, but it takes a bit to knock this guy out. Like Morales, that guy hits like a fucking truck. JDM finished him in the 3rd round, but that was a competitive fight. So I don't think I think Malott round 1, 2, and 3 at plus 100 is just wrong. Which is why I'm playing round 4-5 decision at plus 235. I think he's just going to be point fighting him. He's going to be fighting like a little pansy, and Gilbert's not really going to give. He's going to be absorbing some shots, making it like a valiant kind of effort, but I think Malott wins this handily. And yeah, I have no interest in the Malott money line as far as parlays go, but I do think he wins. But yeah, I think he gets this done late, maybe round 4 or 5. Probably takes in the scorecards. But yeah, I think the most valuable play here is not the dog at plus 300, but it's Malott round 4-5 decision at plus 235.
Interesting angle there. I think like is it 100 to go? Gilbert Burns is like minus 200 favorite. Like he clearly everyone knows that. It's just not the time now, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
All right, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is UFC Fight Night Winnipeg, aka Burns versus Malott. Let's smash out quick picks, bottom to top. Out of here, my internet.
No worries. Jamie Siraj versus John Yanis.
By sub.
Yep, I am in agreement. Siraj by sub at plus 200. John Castaneda or Mark Vologden?
I didn't get to a side. I like under 2.5.
Under 2.5. Nice. I took Mark Vologden, just a numbers play in a close fight. I think Castaneda is soft to the body and will get knocked out. JJ Aldrich versus Jamie Lindhorth.
Yeah, in a dike, you take the bigger dike. It's Jamie Lindhorth for me.
Yeah, none of these guys are hot, so I'm not going to pick. Raposo versus Alan.
Did you see that by any chance?
Huh?
Did you catch that one? Yes.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Just confirming.
Mitch Raposo versus Alan Nascimento.
Nascimento by Brazilian chemist.
Yes, sir. I think Nascimento wins a ugly decision. Melissa Croden versus Daria Zalesniakova.
Croden lay. Croden 2-3. Love it.
Croden round 3. Let's do it.
Bing bong.
All right. Heavyweight banger. Tanner Boza versus Gokhan Saki.
Gokhan Saki's fucking long lost brother, whoever this guy is. I think he should.
Yep, I'm the same. I think he wins by KO. That's plus 200 as well.
Think.
Robert Valentin versus Julian LeBlanc.
Honestly, if you bet Julian LeBlanc, just fucking piss on your money and light it on fire. If Valentin loses, cut them both. I don't give a fuck. Cut them both off a win. Completely
agree. I think Valentin is going to look like the next coming of Jesus Christ here. Dennis Bazooka versus Marcio Barbosa.
Yeah, once I figured out it actually was Dennis Bazooka and not Nazim Sadikov, who I completely thought was the same person for 5 years, I came to the conclusion that Barbosa is going to absolutely kill this guy in round 1 badly.
Yep, first 30 seconds, I believe.
Even more confident than I
am. Thiago Moises versus G Money Gage Young.
I think it's an ugly fight. I don't have maybe we'll win, but I don't have a good read on it.
Yeah, I got Gage Young in this one. Played his money line at minus 125, but could go either way. Sometimes when I take Moises, he fucking loses, and sometimes when I fade him, he ends up winning a very
he's a cat for sure.
Fight. He's a cat. He's got no dog in him. He just
no.
All right. Jasmine Jasidovicius versus Karine Silva.
Jasidovicius is going to bash her. She'll get her out later, I reckon.
Yep, I'm taking her by decision, but I'm gonna put a little bit of insurance in the round 3. Rat Garbage versus Black Country Banger.
They both need to fucking have their nicknames scrapped because to be fair, Nullo does look like a garbage rat. So I don't know. Who gives a shit? Decent dog, but I don't trust him at this point. Pass.
Yeah,
as much as you could pass.
Yeah, as far as nicknames go, Rat Garbage, yep. Black Country Banger, yep. I'm going to go with Rat Garbage.
Yep. Fat Garbage.
Carla Phillips versus Charles Jourdain.
Charles Jourdain by sub. Getting out of here.
Yep, I'm going Charles Jourdain as well. Carla Phillips, he reminds me of have you ever seen the movie Hall Pass?
Oh,
no,
who's in that? Is that Owen Wilson?
No, maybe not Hall Pass. Horrible Bosses.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, you know that guy that they meet in the bar that's like giving like hand jobs in the bathroom?
This is so niche.
Well,
No, I don't know who the fuck that guy is. Who's the fucking red in the bathroom? No idea.
Gilbert Burns versus proper Mike Malott.
I'm a guy, and I fucking back against him every time, but he fucking will.
Proper Mike Malott. Round 4-5 a decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is another episode of the WagerWise MMA podcast. A bit of a fucking dodgy one with technology, but hey, we make it work as always. You want to sign off with my boy?
Yeah, we kind of reversed the roles today a little bit, but, you know, it made for a bit of fun. I'm very caffeinated, as you can probably tell. But, let's cash some money this weekend.
Yes, sir. Good luck with your bets, everyone. If you want to follow Ryan, follow him at Desperate Times 1 on Twitter with a Z. And you can follow me at Triple Sport at Provide Picks. Good luck with your bets. Let's make some fucking money. See you same time next week.